Hey guys, on this show we're looking at Fisher, Candy, Franklin, Charles, Calloway, Brown, Aykroyd and Belushi. We're looking at 1980s, the Blues Brothers.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts and I'm asking for an orange whip. Orange whip? Orange whip?
Orange whip?
Whips.
Yep, 3 orange whip, please. And I'm the other guy and I'm Jailbait. I wish.
Of course you are, son. Of course you are. And this week we are talking about a great film and we have got a very special guest. I would like to ask our guest, a certain Mr. Punk, what the fuck do you want?
I don't know how to answer that, but I want to say I'm an arsehole man.
Hang on, you want arsehole men?
Yes.
Okay, but you're in
What
the right
the punk
place.
fucking wants.
I heard that quite plainly. He said it.
Hang on, I'm just ticking the box for explicit on Apple Podcasts. Okay.
Oh, that'll happen.
The gentleman whose voice you can hear, Punk, is the host of What the Fuck Do You Want podcast. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what the fuck it is you do over there?
Not fucking really. I get people on a weekly basis. I'm like, here, sunshine, what the fuck do you want? And then they tell me, and then they fuck off. It's a good system.
It's a great system.
Good.
It works fantastically.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough to guest twice. I got to tell you that I wanted better movie tie-in games, and I also wanted horror films to be scary again.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Mr. Movie Man comes over. More fucking games. Just what I wanted to talk about. Brilliant.
Your podcast is very heavy game related stuff.
For some reason, I found my people among the geek.
My people.
Yeah, the geek shall inherit the pod. Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of fun, listeners. I recommend that you go and find that. And look, if you listen to this, you just want to go and listen to the ones that I'm on, obviously.
Oh, they're the best ones.
Yeah, well, I would argue they're not. I quite liked the Pokemon one, but more because it got me to think about what Pokemon I'd like to have sex with. I very nearly got a Twitter ban, I think, for that.
The day after that, 40-odd Twitter notifications. I never want that to happen again.
Jesus.
Block.
Yeah. But what film have you bought for us today, Punk?
I decided it's fair time we talked about the Blues Brothers.
Okay. Now, this is your favourite film of all time, is that right?
It's the only film I like. The rest of it is garbage. It can be shot into the fucking sun. Every movie designed after this has just been a cheap copy in some form or another and shouldn't really exist.
What, such as Blues Brothers 2000?
Yes. Pales in comparison.
I was hoping you were going to leave this a bit further down the line before we fucking fell out.
No, I've never seen it. I refuse to watch it.
Oh.
I'll never watch it.
It pales in comparison.
Oh,
it really does. It's more like Turquoise Brothers than Blues Brothers.
Cayenne cunts.
But I'd never watched Escape from LA until about 7 years ago, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for Escape from LA. It's got some really good. It's the same film played over again, but yeah, it's got some really good bits. But I just can't bring myself to watch. Yeah, do they not kind of keep a kid in the boot of the car? Is that not the thing? Like the
If
kid lives
only.
in the boot of the car.
Kept it in the boot of the car, drove it off a bridge, would have been a better movie. It's awful. It came in a double pack. At one stage, you could only buy it on DVD if it came with a sequel. I was like,
Wow.
oh, I never knew this had a sequel. That's brilliant. There's a fucking evening plan for Mr. Punk.
Not to be. Just use it as a coaster for your coffee.
Oh, not even. I wouldn't have it in the house.
So, listeners, regular listeners will know what this is all about. But for those them what don't, we are going to get together, run through the film, try and come up with as many things as we can between us, hopefully 100. At the end, we'll sum up and see if we broke that magic 100 barrier. Are you chaps ready to go?
Let's do it.
I was fucking born ready.
And angry.
The film opens at the Joliet Correctional Facility. Jake is this character being walked to the office. Now, I don't remember this bit lasting quite as long as this bit takes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of... I mean, I get that the whole thing is it's a big place.
Wouldn't mind the opening shot of, like, nighttime Chicago. I always thought that was like fucking Mordor or something.
Oh, it's horrible, wasn't it?
It's downright fantasy.
It's like Detroit, like the beginning of bloody Robocop, wasn't it?
They're building John Lee hookers in that plant somewhere. I guess blues is back on the menu, boys. The Joliet Correctional Centaur, as it's now called, was called the Illinois State Penitentiary, which kind of comes up later on. It was a prison from 1858 to 2002. It's also in the film White Heat, James Cagney. The first season of Prison Break, which is one of those things everyone's, you've got to watch Prison Break. Well, they break out, and then they go back, and then they break out, and then they go back. I've had enough of that. Red Heat, great film. Bones, that show. And Mindhunter, which is another one of those things I'm never going to watch. Yeah. Just
going through trivia on the movie, apparently that helicopter that got the outside shots of the prison got shot at. Did either of you see that?
No.
Jesus, no, I've never seen that.
Of course it did. Why not?
Yeah, when you get to say, why are they shooting at us? They say, you're in a fucking helicopter going around the prison. It probably looks a bit dodgy.
As soon as you said helicopter, I was like, shit, we've really got started on the Landis stuff early here. But no, evidently not. We'll leave that for a little while. In fact, we're not going to mention that. We won't
I definitely will.
Yes, so will I.
You make the promises you can't keep, boys. Can't keep.
So this character's checking him out. It's Frank Oz going through all of the things that he's missing. Timex watch one with broken. One unsoiled prophylactic. One soiled is. Yeah. Or probably even better would be Miss Piggy, but I can't do a Miss Piggy impression. Just hi-ya. Yeah.
Frank Oz's face when he pulls out that soiled prophylactic.
On the end of the pen.
Brilliant.
So here's a question, lads. Was he arrested mid-coitus, or does he just keep a used Johnny in his pocket?
Maybe he cares about the environment. He didn't want to just throw it away on the side of the street.
Choking a turtle on his Johnny.
We've already reused them anyway, have we not?
Yeah, they're reusable. I'm pretty sure Harry Potter said that once.
Just wash it out. It's a bit sticky, but it's all right.
It's a little wet. It's still good. Jesus Christ.
When the burning stops, stop.
He's got a black suit jacket, one pair of black pants, one hat, black, $27.87, and he signs his name as an X.
Does he not have a pair of sunglasses as well?
Oh, he does have a pair of sunglasses. That's quite important.
So he barely unprofessional.
Yeah. Yes. He signs his name with an X, I would assume, because he can't write. You can still sign an X if you want, if you're signing your name, if you have illiteracy or you are disabled, but it has to be witnessed. So there has to be a witness. You can't just turn up with a bit of paper with an X on it and get away with that.
Right.
Could you change your name legally to X?
Would you be Mr. X, and then if you get a doctorate,
Just
would you
X,
become Professor
chair.
X? Do you believe in not being able to read?
Oh, there's X's wife there.
X's ex-wife. This Timex prop watch sold at auction in 2012 for $15,000.
Stealing all my facts here, big guy. We've all got the same facts.
Of course I am.
Don't share your notes. This is what he does.
There's a car waiting for him outside. Dan Aykroyd's back. Second Dan Aykroyd film we've had.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah.
He's slim, isn't he?
He's really slim, yeah.
Yeah.
God, he can shift as well, can't he?
Spelt, yeah. Well,
Do
I
you
guess
think
not.
he's slim, or it's just beside Belushi? He's a bit. It's just
true.
Possibly. I watched that Ghostbusters Afterlife recently. Yeah, it's not so bad, I guess. But he could barely move. I think they stand him up between takes.
Didn't get his fucking harmonica out once.
Or his Crystal Skull vodka.
Aye.
Thankfully.
I did like that car, though, that Dodge sedan.
All right, yeah.
But I was looking at cars that it is illegal to drive a retired cop car while it still resembles a cop car. So you've got to take everything off it. So it doesn't have any badges or anything.
Okay. Well, to be honest, that was probably the least of their issues.
Pretty much.
in this film. The music that starts up here is She Caught the Katy. It's the nickname of the old Missouri, Kansas, Texas Railroad. So she's fucked off on a train, is the song. Written by Yank Rashel and Taj Mahal. No, really. In
I thought you were going to say no relation there.
the eighth wonder of the world.
What, this song? It's not that good.
Big Taj.
Even the best song in the film. And it's apparently James Belushi's favourite blues song, which is why it features.
So when they jump in the car, they're not wearing any seatbelts, so double-checked the dates for that. So wearing of seatbelts is mandatory in 49 states, apart from New Hampshire, where only those under 18 are required to buckle up. New York State passed its first law. It was mandatory to wear seatbelts in 1984.
All right, okay. There you go. So what is it about New Hampshire that they just don't give a fuck about anybody's lives?
They just don't give a fuck. Old Hampshire they do. New Hampshire they don't.
I was going to say that jump over the 95th Street Bridge.
Oh,
yeah.
That was classic.
Yeah. That bridge has a 4-star rating on TripAdvisor, which is impressive for a bridge that doesn't have a bar. Yeah, there is an... I probably will not pronounce this right. Calumet Fisheries nearby that has a Blues Brothers mural.
Oh, right. Wow.
So,
okay.
One for the bucket list.
Yeah, exactly.
It was open to traffic on 27th of June 1958.
Excellent work, boys. Brilliant.
All over the dates, boys. All over the dates.
And did you get the boat going underneath during the jump?
Yeah. It's only famous due to the film, and an eatery adjacent to the bridge displays photos of the film. There's notices there in the actual restaurant telling fans not to try the jump themselves. I would assume because it just wouldn't work. I don't know too much about science, but I don't think physics works the way that it works in these films. Yeah. See also the Nazis falling probably about 700 feet. He's talking about the car. What happened to the Bluesmobile? He said, I traded it. You traded the Bluesmobile for a cop car? No, I traded the Bluesmobile for a microphone. Oh, that's fair. I picked this up at the Mount Prospect Police auction. It was a great deal. He's talking about it's got a cop motor, cop tires, cop shocks, made before catalytic converters, so it'll run good on regular gas. Catalytic converters. The first prototypes were designed at the end of the 19th century. How old is this fucking car?
Jesus.
Well, it's a 1974 Dodge Monaco.
Yep.
Yeah. The whole point is it's a control that converts toxic gases into less toxic pollutants by making sure I eat less beans. They pull up at the orphanage that they grew up in to see the penguin. Now, this is one of those scenes in the film that I always remember really well, but isn't nearly as funny until I watch it again, and I am laughing the whole way through this thing. You know, the kind of the floating backwards in through the door is great.
Even the doors opening by themselves while she's at the desk.
It felt like I reached back to young Frankenstein times. They were trying to do something spooky like that. It really worked. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. She was very Fran Blucher.
I had a brief stint in America, and I got the joy of my life when I seen the Blues Brothers was playing during the day.
Right.
I didn't realise they censored movies to play them during the day there.
Oh, do they?
Oh, they do. So the scene plays out as you remember it, but they take out all the swearing. So why is the nun hitting them?
So you can't hear them saying anything.
No,
she's just
they're saying, "Ow, ouch, oh," and she.
Oh God, yeah, because it's always fuck.
Psychotic.
Shit.
Yeah, so none of that's in it. They're just saying "ow" and "ouch," and she's getting angrier and hitting them more. And oh, right,
brilliant. That's
Catholic for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. They're sitting in these little school desk seats. I love these little seats.
Yeah, I remember those.
Way. And, Belushi can barely get in. Jake's kind of squeezing into it. And she's like, oh, come a little bit closer. He's bouncing the way they're bouncing over. Just brilliant. So it turns out they owe $5,000 in taxes or the building's going to be sold. Jake says he'll get it, but she won't have any stolen money. And his line is, well, I guess you're really up shit creek. She said, I'm sorry, what did you say? Well, see, when you said that you needed the money and you wouldn't take stolen money, what I said was, you're really up shit. She just keeps hitting him. I mean, he's either pigeons learn faster or he's just a dick, and I'm not sure which.
Did you spot her name in the credits?
No, I didn't.
Sister Mary Stigmata.
Wow.
Just fucking tickles me.
That's brilliant. She knocks him down the stairs in his chair. Another pretty good stunt that quite blatantly he doesn't do.
Oh, apparently he did do that.
Oh, right. Okay.
He injured himself quite badly and had to be put in a back brace and take painkillers for the rest of the shoot.
Right. Well, he'd have hated taking painkillers for the rest of the shoot, wouldn't he? Belushi, yeah.
Wouldn't have hit the
got
sides.
anything out of that. As they reach the bottom of the stairs, they meet Curtis, played by Cab Calloway, who lives in the boiler room like fucking Freddy Krueger. Oh, I remember you. Yeah, always killing kids and singing us Elmore James numbers. His full name, Cabell Calloway III, American jazz singer, dancer, band leader, and actor, master of scat singing. Which, I mean, that one will do it. Yeah, it's fine. That's the joke. His most famous song, Minnie the Moocher, we'll learn a little bit more about later on. 1931, inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999, and he was the first African American to sell 1 million records from a single and have a syndicated TV show.
Helen of the Blessed Shroud did not exist. I think it was a building that was shot in the south side in a lane somewhere.
Okay. There's plenty of that in this, isn't there? I don't know about what you boys have got, but I've got plenty of that.
Did you guys see the in Chicago, religious organizations don't get taxed?
No.
Sounds about right.
Oh, I thought that I came across this one quite a lot. And I was like, the whole reason for the movie to exist doesn't exist.
It's not a thing. Wow. So he tells them to go to Triple Rock Church to see Reverend
You
Cliff.
get wise, you get to church.
It's a great line. And I love this scene, right? James Brown, for me, I'm the hardest working man in show business. Yes, and he really was. He also had my mum's hair from the 80s. This scene, which I was kind of into. He's preaching and singing.
Through this movie, going every song that came up. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
So did I.
I was in that as well, to be honest.
Except this one, I think this is happily my least favorite.
Oh, really? All right.
I don't know what it is. I can't gel with it. I love the scene. I just don't think much of the song.
Okay, but I'm going to argue this now. As much as I like James Brown, he's not a singer. He's just some man that shouts like an MC. He would have been shit hot in the So Solid crew.
Natural show, man.
He was an entertainer. He was
known as the hardest working man in show business, of course. The Godfather of Soul, Mr. Dynamite, Soul Brother #1, ranked number 7 on Rolling Stone's list of 100 greatest artists of all time. Number 1 was the Beatles, because obviously
there was 4 of them.
He had numerous children, but I only acknowledge 9 of them. Of course you did, right?
Like Boris Johnson. erection and a half in it.
Jesus.
Oh, cue me dying off mic. Oh.
Oh. I'm going to get down with it. I'm going to get on it like a sex machine.
Yes, get on up. Get on up.
Jesus Christ. It's the big payback. What a fucking arsehole he is. Not James Brown, although I know that James Brown was a particularly great guy. Have either of you seen that James Brown story of his life film? It's Chadwick Boseman as James Brown.
No.
It's fucking brilliant.
Is it good?
Yeah. James Brown Family Foundation, still today, gives away Thanksgiving turkeys every year to over 1,000 poor families.
Are those jive turkeys?
Jeez.
Well, I'm just going total 70s. I watched The Warriors last night, so that's why I'm
All right.
jiving away here.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive turkey.
Man.
I only noticed on a rewatch of this, Chaka Khan was leading the choir.
Oh, yeah. It was
Oh, so at some point, James Brown had said, "Help me, Chaka Khan." No, I didn't notice that. Excellent. Well spotted.
That start rap's just came out of my head again. I need to stop it.
Do you need a minute?
Chaka Khan. Chaka.
John, I really feel for you.
Oh, mate.
Right, brilliant.
This sun shines through the window onto Jake, and he believes he's getting the band together. Do you see the light? I see the light. This bloke dressed as Jake doing these massive somersaults down the aisle, which I imagine if they'd just give him some speedballs, he'd have probably just done them himself anyway.
Aye.
In an issue. Yeah.
Aye. He was a manic dancer. Even the stuff that he was doing, you could see he was proper manic with it. So he probably had the energy to pull the flips off.
Yeah, cocaine's a hell of a drug, John.
Hell of a price, eh?
Later on, they're in the car. They're listening to Sam and Dave on this 8-track. 8-track was a cartridge, each of 4 programs, comprised of 2 tracks playing simultaneously to provide stereo sound. And you know what? They no longer exist.
Only in the movies.
Can't get them. Absolutely, can't get them. Elwood explains that the band went straight, his words. He says, well, we'll have to get them back together. They run a red light and get pulled over. The cops check the license in this bit of kit, this smarts system, and find that Elwood's license has been suspended. Instead of stepping out, he guns it. And this starts probably the best car chase I know.
Yeah, it's right up there.
So, yeah, and Elwood, his first use of the line, we're on a mission from God. He's like, they won't catch us, we're on a mission from God.
He also calls them rollers as well. I've never heard that expression before.
No, I haven't heard that either. No.
Turns out it's slang for police officers. It was widely used in the East and West Coast in the early 70s.
Is it to do with the lights, or?
It doesn't mention it. It just says it was classed as black slang, so it doesn't mention why they called them that.
You weren't allowed to know.
Yeah, we're too white to know.
You've ruined you've ruined what people think we look like now, John. They head to this mall. Remember shopping centres? And into this Toys R Us, literally into this Toys R Us. This guy holding a Grover teddy. Do you have Miss Piggy? Grinning away. Just smashed straight through.
So I mentioned to you throughout the week while we were making notes for this, this is my favourite scene in the movie. And I have completely destroyed it for myself. I don't think I can ever watch it again.
Oh, why?
I think you've probably got the same notes I do.
Is it all the places?
Oh, I remember Commerce. The person holding the toy asking to buy Miss Piggy, that's stunt coordinator Carrie McLarty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Landis was a massive Muppets fan, references to it everywhere. I mean, Frank Oz. But did a bit of homework on McLarty because I tried to dig a bit deep in. and came across on this. And I'm going to get a bit that F King guy on this, so cut me off as soon as it goes dark. In 1982, McLarty was hired to serve as stunt coordinator on Twilight Zone, the movie, on which he also doubled for actor Vic Morrow. On July 23rd, during the filming of a scene for Twilight Zone, the helicopter he was on spun out of control and crashed, killing Vic Morrow and 2 children on the ground, resulting in injuries for McLarty and the others aboard the helicopter. In the subsequent trial, McLarty testified that prior to the accident, he had warned director John Landis that the stunt was too dangerous, and Landis denied this. So, John Landis, McLarty, good connection there.
Absolutely, and John Landis, first instance of us mentioning what a piece of shit he is.
McLarty went on, he did not have a great time after that. In 91, he shot and killed his roommate. His house also caught fire and burned down during the incident. McLarty semi-retired from stunt work in 2004. The following year, he testified at murder trial of actor Robert Blake, testifying that Blake offered him $10,000 to murder his wife, Bonnie Lee Blakely. McCarty declined. Blakely was fatally shot in Blake's car outside a restaurant in May 2001. And then on October 11th, it doesn't get any better, 2014, McLarty and his friend and fellow stuntman Bob Orison were killed in a traffic collision in Rancho Cordova, California. McLarty was 73. And then I googled Christy Olsen, who was the actor on The Till, but she didn't get up to much. Or maybe
she didn't murder anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe
she had it better.
Didn't chop any kids' heads off by accident.
Welcome back to Hollywood Homicide Podcast. Fucking hell. This comedy podcast, inverted commas. Jesus Christ.
I told you, ruined it for myself.
That's a bit dark, isn't it?
For all of our listeners, yeah. Great work, Punk. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Kiss my bollocks.
This chase through the mall, a real mall, by the way. How wide were the kind of? It was
the walkways.
Yeah, it was kind of
massive.
A little bit like a really, really big metro centre.
Aye, like with the inn shops.
Yeah, exactly. What I did notice, I don't think I've ever noticed, is they completely unnecessarily drift into all of these shops. It's like the same stunt over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like crazy taxi kind of drifting.
Yeah.
Like Simpsons and Run.
They caught everything, so I managed to see all the stores, which was fine. So there was Toys R Us, there was Pier 1, GC Penney. I could tell you the dates when all these were founded. But there was something called Jewel. Did you see that? It was just one of them big main signposts on the actual mall, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Like the Steven Spielberg big truck chasing the guy down film.
I said Jewel, no Jewel.
Oh, right, okay.
Listen to the fucking man.
Listen, man. Listen here to me.
I'm listening, I hear you.
So Toys R Us founded in 1957, Pier 1 Imports 1962, and GC Penney was founded in 1902. Just thought I'd work them out.
Fantastic.
I'll be your dates,
We love
man.
it when you whip them off, John.
Is it Toys R Us that's coming back as well?
Yes.
Is it really?
Apparently.
Right, wow.
Apparently Woolworths is coming back as well.
Is it, though?
Is it a pick and mix? Oh, no, we can't do pick and mix.
No, we can't do COVID mix.
It would be tongs and bag, it should call it now. Tongs and bag. Don't touch it.
That sounds like one of my favourite X-rated films.
Oh, and did you know it's no illegal to wear sunglasses while driving at night? It's only advised or recommended to not do it.
Surely it should be, though.
I thought so. Because apparently in the UK you can't drive through a tunnel with sunglasses on.
Well, I drive through the Tyne Tunnel quite regularly. You wouldn't want to even try it. Like it just doesn't work.
Don't know. It sounds like a challenge now.
I know.
It does a little bit.
Accepted.
Every time I see an Oldsmobile in a film, I always think the new Oldsmobiles are in early this year. The Oldsmobile, brand of American car by General Motors, sales peaked over 1 million from 1983 to 1986. Over 107 years, they had the first speedometer, first company to publicly promote cars, first curved dash, first to export, first purpose-built mail truck, first standard windshield, first use chrome plating, first automatic choke, first V8 engine, first fully automatic transmission, first automatic headlight dimming system, as well as the first driver side airbag. And if you go to honestjohn.co.uk, which sounds a little bit weird, they're selling them from between £19,000 and £25,000.
Right, okay.
Nobody buys American though, right?
I know.
Not even Americans.
And anybody who's got something called honest in their title is not an honest person, is it?
No, generally not. They fly out through this J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney filed for Chapter 11 in 2020 during COVID restrictions, and were bought out for $18 million. So they still exist, kind of. You wonder how any shop still exists. They head downtown to Elwood's room in this deadbeat flop house type thing, watched by none other than
Carrie Fisher.
Princess Leia Organa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Smoking Princess Leia.
Yes, I know, yeah, absolutely. But so young at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can handle a
pulls
rocket
out
launcher.
This rocket launcher. She can, yeah. This rocket launcher, though, is rubbish. Like, it literally just blows the doors apart and then some random bricks. The building continues to keep its integrity.
I looked at multi-shot grenade launchers. There's no such. There's rocket. There's multi-shot grenade launchers, but not rocket launchers. Even though it's in Commando, so it must be true.
It has to be true.
It has to be true.
It is that 80s level bazooka that always looked impressive but seemed to do no damage.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Do you think it was just a deterrent?
It's just cans of links in it.
It's American. It would be Axe, surely.
X
deodorants. Yeah.
X for X. Who's this X?
They get into this huge room where they're basically playing. It's just all these down and outs, isn't it? And he said, "Any messages for me?" And this guy, no messages. I expected him to put one of those things to his throat. I have got no messages for you.
He's a fag.
I am going down the shop. Do you want me to buy anything for you? I am integrated with my Commodore Spectrum. I think that's probably the second time we've mentioned Goldie Looking Chain on this podcast.
Pretty much, aye.
And it won't be the last. This old boy in the lounge, you got my cheese whiz, boy? He throws him this fucking tub of something. Yeah, Cheese Whiz, introduced by Kraft Foods in 1952. It's a dip or a coating or something. I mean, it looks like Americans would love it.
Mm-hmm.
Says me tucking into my steak and arsehole pie.
I did find on Cheese Whiz, according to a Kraft spokesman, the product does include cheese, but the company has chosen to list its parts, such as cheese culture and milk, instead of cheese, as a component itself.
That's telling.
Also invented in Chicago.
All right. Okay. There you go. That old boy's been eating Cheese Whiz since it launched.
More Cheese Whiz than man.
This tiny room that Elwood's in, by the way, is, you can barely get the door open. And the line that we use on this, I just use this podcast all the time. How often does the train go by?
So often you won't even notice it.
Absolutely. Just like the hotel me and Rachel stayed in at Finchley Park at the weekend. So thanks, the Northern and the Victorian line bastards.
This is my idea of a great evening in. Sticking a vinyl on, bottle of random unlabeled booze, and a slice of toast.
That's right.
This little grill thing he's got. I was trying to figure out what was going on with this piece of wire thing. He was, I couldn't quite figure, but I guess he can then just put it there, can't he? Just leave it. But I mean, that's just it's not even an open flame, so it would just make your bread warm. Enjoy your room temperature bread, Elwood.
Something to melt my butter on.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to the Young Ones, wasn't there a scene where they were cooking toast with a light bulb?
So there was.
The next morning, the cops are here. This character, Burton Mercer, and the cops from before. They'd checked the license, and the reason, not mention this, but the reason Elwood says that they're not going to find them is that his license would take him to Wrigley Field, so the address of Wrigley Field.
Yep.
Burton Mercer, the late great John Candy, R.I.P. that guy, big style. He says, I really liked the bit. He's actually quite a fun character, isn't he? I really liked the bit about.
Getting 60
about
West
Wrigley
Edison.
Field. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and the other cop who I absolutely love because real cute.
Sucker.
Do have to bring up a note on 1060 West Addison because mostly, I'm sure you'll want to join in this kicking, Mark. The ballpark was featured in a scene in the 1986 film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller.
Hey, Boimler.
You know why I'm bringing that up.
Oh, I know exactly why you bring that up.
Yeah.
Because we should never forget. Ladies and gentlemen at home.
Matthew Broderick killed a mother and daughter whilst drink driving about 10 miles up the road in Tempo.
There you go. Yeah, and got away with it.
Oh, yeah.
Because rich and American. That family still campaigned for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they still campaign for that.
Oh, yeah. Over here, all the local cinemas would never show any of Broderick's movies. I'd have protest. I had to watch The Lion King with the little people walking around the front of the screen.
Little people like munchkins?
No, it's the audience.
One of them, their copies from the camcorder.
One of them copies you got from the market.
I'm actually trying to think of Matthew Broderick films other than The Lion King that I would enjoy watching. I think I might have semi-enjoyed a little bit of the Producers remake, but God, his voice just goes through me. Is he still married to that?
That's all that goes through you. You're doing quite well.
Oh, God, that horse face.
He's still married to the horse-faced fucking
Sarah Jessica
witch,
Parker.
isn't he? Yeah.
Hate her, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, is there a power couple, like a more anti-power couple out there? I mean, especially now Kanye and Kim are no longer together.
Fred and Rose West.
Are they still together?
They're better.
They've never been stronger together. And look, credit where it's due. Fred never murdered anyone's mam. He did only murder daughters.
Daughters. Aye.
You know.
Look, at least Fred paid the price, okay?
You know that.
Maybe the price was that Broderick wasn't allowed to stick around with Jennifer Grey and had to marry. Maybe that's his punishment.
Aye, that's probably it. Hopefully.
Anyway.
Inspector had it.
Jesus. So the cops make their way in, and Carrie Fisher pulls up. Right, I couldn't quite figure out how she managed to get these explosives into this building, but she's got this, looks like something you could remote control a boat with.
Aye, I seen that. I was expecting like a drone to come in or like one of the old helicopters.
And she sets it off, and evidently there's C4 all over this place. It's like at the end of the third level of Donkey Kong when you've jumped over all the plugs and the whole thing falls down.
Aye.
Donkey Kong doesn't do so great. They climb out under all these bricks, which I think we talked about this over during the week. I think I messaged you while I was watching it and gone, God, I love the Foley on that sound of the bricks.
Oh, it's glorious.
Sounds fantastic. I looked up prop bricks, £20 a brick on Etsy from a guy, Zombie Monkey Shop, which is a great name, an absolutely brilliant name for a shop.
Prop bricks, a good insult. I might add that to the list.
You fucking prop brick. But I've got to share this with you because I was reading the reviews of his page, and this guy gave him 1 star. Massively disappointed. This guy Stuart, who looks like, I'm going to make him sound, Massively disappointed. It should clearly state in the title, hard foam. Didn't even realise foam could be this hard, capital letters. It's virtually a brick, ironically. Asked for a refund, but he refused as it's made to order. Well, when someone orders one, why don't he just sell them mine? They said they'd make one of lighter foam, but it was at a silly price. Not happy with this seller at all. The guy's response: "Hi, Stuart. Thanks for your positive vibes. Clearly states in the description it's made from a very hard foam. Twice. It was a few pound more due to chemical costs. Apologies for being helpful after you let us know what you were actually looking for. All the best." I love a bit of passive-aggressive customer service.
Goodbye, you brick.
So go and buy anything, whatever they're selling. They're also selling these replica skulls that look like the real skulls used in the Poltergeist film.
Oh, God, aye.
So
I'll get one of
at
those.
some point, buy one of those and enjoy having your house haunted by Native American ghosts.
Bury that in the neighbour's garden, get them in trouble.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Good, right.
That's my ancient Indian burial ground.
That's where I put it.
Ancient Indian burial ground in Stirling. I can't imagine that happening, John.
Half tomahawk will travel.
So he gets up out of these bricks and Elwood looks at his watch. Almost 9 a.m. Time for work. And then doesn't go to work. Now, I think you could probably fill in the gaps here, Punk, because I wasn't sure what was going on.
This actually leads to a scene where Elwood goes to work. He basically resigns from a can factory.
That's the one I've saw. So mine's is that one. So he just goes in and there's just cans going by the screen, isn't there?
Yeah, but it also explains why he has so many cans of magic shite.
Yeah. I was expecting him to take a glove off and put it on top of one and just wave it.
Laverne and Shirley.
It's also quite odd because you see Elwood without glasses. He has clear.
Yeah, he's got clear glasses. Yeah.
It's quite odd.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look.
Then I think he tells his boss he's going to leave to become a priest.
Oh, so he does, yeah.
A brilliantly awkward scene. God bless you, sir.
Goodbye, my son. God, I forgot about that. I must have got the extended version in plenty.
Mm-hmm.
So they head for the suburbs, and they're looking for two former members of the band. They knock on this door, and this woman comes to the door. May I help you? And it's like Lebowski. I've written here. Are you the police? Oh no, ma'am. We didn't mean to give you that impression. I imagine them walking and going, "Love your work, sir." Can he hear us? Oh, he doesn't hear.
Belushi holding up the cigarette packet as if it's
identification.
Yeah. Like Doctor Who with the thing in it. Hey, I'm Inspector.
They left a card, and as they're leaving, she goes, Mr. Man! Just Murph and the Magic Tones, they're called. They're a hotel band with these matching pink suits. Absolutely brilliant. Giving it the whole quando. Absolutely super.
There was a point in this where Murph had just finished the song and told the audience to wait around. And I paused it at that point to make some notes. And he has this horrible, sneery wink that I freeze framed on as, oh.
Come with me.
Did you feel like in 7 days he was going to come and steal your soul?
I was just sitting there with my hand over the drink. Just, no, not getting me, sunshine.
The band agree, but he says you won't get Matt Murphy from his wife. He's opened a soul food restaurant, and Mr. Fabulous is the maitre d' job. This again, I like you with the songs. Every scene, I kind of went, "Oh, this is my favourite scene." No, this is my favourite bit. No, this is my favourite.
Yeah,
they walk in.
I was going to point out before we moved away from the hotel, actors working as waiters. We had Belushi's wife.
All right.
And Rosie Schuster, one of the Saturday Night Live comedians.
Oh, good spot.
Eyes of a hawk.
IMDb of a hawk. They go to the restaurant. The guy he's talking to this guy on the phone. He's going, "Yes, sir. Mostly French. No, sir. Mayor such and such doesn't come here anymore. He's dead, sir." Obviously, this guy's heard that the mayor eats at whatever this restaurant is and decided to ring. They turn up, tuck napkins into their collars, order champagne, wrong glass, sir. It's that kind of garrulous kind of just waving the glass for him to fill it up. He orders champagne and 5 shrimp cocktails and some bread for my brother. Did you spot who they were served by?
Yes, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, absolutely. None other than wanking in a theatre's Pee Wee Herman himself.
Is that the spleen? Is it the spleen?
It is the spleen, yeah. Oh, there's a future episode.
That's a good one. The spleen.
I was under the impression that's what adult theatres were for.
I think so, yeah. I assume
Yeah,
so.
is that not why you go to watch pornography in the middle of the day?
It's a pornography store. I was buying pornography. Yeah, I assume so.
A bit of statage on Dom Perignon.
Pornography.
Oh, yes. Mad stats for that. Hold the records. So, the bottle of Dom Perignon, which was a 71, charged at $120 in Chez Paul, which would be $409.44 today after inflation, which is a bargain because the cheapest I could find a 71 was about €568 or $636.57 or £474.96 of the Queen Sterling. I bring that up because the website I found this on had this amazing pop-up saying that they were going to charge me extra tax and postage and packaging because I was basically a Brexit cunt. I said, I live in Ireland. We're still in the EU. Confused website.
We never voted for it.
We were dragged, kicking and screaming, man.
Absolutely. You got any Irish cousins we can marry?
Twice you can have you both. Just lie and say you had like an Irish grandfather. He was Gaelic of some sort.
Aye.
You don't have to be too specific. We're not fussy. I say that whole scene in Chez Paul feels like Animal House compressed into one.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, this posh family at the back. Can you move them? So, well, why? He says, "Well, to them, well, frankly, they're offensive smelling." That was good. They're throwing food at one another, and something that I say all the time: "Your women, your daughters, sell me your little girl. How much for your women?"
Yeah, speaking of, I actually have the price of a young girl in 1980s America. I'll bring that up for inflation.
Did you Google that? He's on a register now.
It's on a list.
Right. I cannot recommend NordVPN enough.
This week we are sponsored by Mr. Fabulous does agree, but only when they threaten to come back every night. It's just this whole thing of the guy going, "Sir, sir, sir," and he's just nothing. Right. Illinois Nazis, right? Do we know anything about Illinois Nazis?
Fucking Illinois Nazis.
Fucking hate them. I know that much.
Well,
That's a fact. Write that down.
That was the only thing I picked up on. I was like, I like that wee guy in the bug.
Oh, I remember him from Inner Space. It's the store
Oh, God,
manager.
I sure he was. Yeah, sure he was. Forgot about that. Jesus, that took me back. Oh, Meg Ryan, I'd like to be in her space.
Goodbye, female listeners.
No ones are the best.
You can't see it, but I'm standing up and rubbing my thighs at the moment.
They're having this rally on the bridge in the park, and he's going, "White men, women, join us," and it's just awful. I mean, it's overplayed, of course, but it's just.
Is that a socialist white people's party? Is that just an ANP, man?
They're stopping all the traffic. Elwood drives over the bridge, and they have to jump off to not get hit into the water. And the threat is that they're going to chase them down. Now, the thing with the Illinois Nazi parties, I forget they're in the film, because that's like, that bit is maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes long.
Aye,
and then they're not in it until the end.
yeah, it's a big portion of that bit for them just not to be in it anymore.
Yeah.
That bridge they jumped off.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. That bridge is located in Jackson Park in Chicago. And I'm afraid to say the bridge itself does not have a TripAdvisor page.
Oh.
So it is worse than the previous bridge in the movie.
Oh. So hang on. We've got a bridge ranking here.
Oh, yes, we do.
A branking, one might say.
Do not pretend you do not rank bridges you cross on a daily basis.
I've got my favourites.
It's the Middlesbrough Transporter Bridge, closely followed by the Newport Transporter Bridge.
The man who enjoys a tipple beneath a bridge. I'm quite fussy.
I tend to spend most of my time trying to stop goats from getting over bridges, to be honest. That's my job. But yes, John Lee Hooker is outside this soul food shop. They go in and Aretha Franklin serves them. What do they order?
Chickens and a Coke.
That's brilliant. It's like, would you want wings? Like, no, full chickens.
Add some dry white toast. Do you want a drink with that? No. Anything else? No, just 4 fried chickens and a Coke. And some dry white toast. And she's like, these honkies dress like Hasidic diamond merchants. Yes. Yes, they are. Matt recognises the order. Again, the line, "We're on a mission from God," comes back, but she refuses to let Matt leave. She says, "You better think." Yeah.
And then we go.
But before that, the line is, "Hang on, I'm the man and you're the woman." And I'm like, ooh, that's not aged well.
It was of its time.
I definitely want to set it to fucking Aretha Franklin.
Certainly not.
Oh, no, she would fuck you up, boys.
Oh, yeah.
You really wouldn't, you think?
Yeah. She yells at him for 3 minutes. She's just screaming at him for 3 minutes. And everybody dances, and I love this. Even the bit where there's a little bit where Jake and Elwood just get up and start dancing. It's fantastic.
And outside as well, all over
so
the place.
Oh, everybody.
On the train bridge as well. I looked up on the train bridge and there's people dancing.
Yeah. Those dancers were just people off the street in that
What? Homeless people?
No. They ship them in from New York. That's how Judy Ruliana get rid of them.
The dancers from outside Ray's place?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, the dancers from outside Ray's place were, dancing off the street. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Those are Franklin's sisters.
Oh,
right, wow.
They were her backup singers throughout her entire career.
Oh, right. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'll add that to the list.
Write it down.
I know, yeah, it's in the movie.
I was going to say this scene apparently was a fucking nightmare to film as well because Aretha Franklin doesn't sing the same way twice.
I'd heard that, yeah. I've not heard about the scene, but I heard that she's different every time, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, right.
But apparently that was quite common with a few of the performers on this movie.
Okay.
Because songs only started becoming uniform when recording was more popular.
Yeah.
Right.
They were forever tweaking them.
Yeah.
Okay. Aretha Franklin from our good friend Josh, super familiar with the Wilsons, and our kind of cousin podcast.
Divided by a common language.
Thank you. Aretha Franklin died in 2018 and lay in riposte for a week. Early in the week, she was dressed in red, and then for a few days, powder blue, and later on, she was buried in rose gold. I mean, somebody really did think about that, eh?
There's going to be an Apple funeral. Love a bit of rose gold.
A woman died. Show some respect.
That was a while ago.
One day, the local kids changed the clothes of the dead soul star Aretha Franklin 3 times as she lay in state. It was out of respect.
Oh, jeez.
No, we're not doing Goodfellas.
No.
Okay. Fine. We're still not doing Goodfellas. We'll get there one day.
Notice Matt Guitar Murphy passed away the same year as...
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But he lovingly kind of folds his apron off and throws it down. And I thought she was really convincing. I'm like, yeah, I'll stay. Yeah, I'll stay. I'll cook soul food. I mean, I don't get why any of these guys would give up these. I guess I'm not a musician, right? But I wouldn't give up. Some of these are quite cushy jobs. Unless she's going to be I don't know, singing 20 times differently the whole time.
For sake, Mark, they had a sound powerful enough to convert goat piss to gasoline.
Of course they did. Yes, of course. There's more that I didn't see of this John Lee Hooker thing. What was going on there? Because it wasn't in my version.
There's an extended version of the song, Boom Boom Boom, when they're going in. They actually finish the song before going into the soul food restaurant, and they have an argument about who wrote the song. So he's having a fight with his band about who wrote it. But you can still hear it as they go into the soul food restaurant, but as they're leaving and going back into the Bluesmobile, they're still having a fight. So it's continued throughout the whole scene.
Right.
I thought it was a really nice touch, yeah.
John Lee Hooker's date of birth is a subject of debate. They've mentioned 1912, 1915, 1917, 1920, and 1923. Official sources list 1917, although at times Hooker would state he was born in 1920. He died June 2001, at either the age of 83 or the age of 88. Nobody really knows.
Impressive
What we
either
do
way.
know, as a fact, is because he died in June 2001, he could not be responsible for 9/11. So he's obviously not a massive cunt.
Question, what's an official source?
Fake, don't death.
And Kona extra hot chili sauce, obviously. It's the best. This tiny little scene of curl up and dye beauty salon. Carrie's doing her nails and reading up on flamethrowers. It's got this instruction manual for flamethrowers.
So I did look for the M-79 flamethrower.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very popular model. It's almost like it doesn't fucking exist. Because I could find details on the M79 grenade launcher, but nothing on the flamethrower with that model number.
Okay.
I was the same because I thought it was a thing the way she was looking at it, but every time I googled that make, it was always coming up with the rocket launcher.
We're next at Ray's Music, this huge music shop. It's like a fucking football field. This kid's nicking this guitar. Ray Charles, of course, famous blind man, and that's the joke. He shoots past him. Go on now, get! Which I
live
like. For
those horrible visual gags. I love that. I cried the first time I seen that.
It's fair. When Murph says there's no action in this keyboard, Ray plays Shake Your Tail Feather on it, and he does a really good job. Exactly as you said, this is the bit where the dancers outside are the just local people, and a lot of them actually did look like they were really good at dancing.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest.
It used to be quite the pastime.
Shake a Tail Feather, 1963, for the 5 Dutones. Made number 51 on the US charts. Short 4 years later, James and Bobby Purphy, number 25 on the chart.
I think this is the first time you hear the entire band together for the first time as well.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
Yes. Without any other discussion, this is my favourite song in the movie.
Right, okay.
Ray Charles is fucking fantastic. What a powerful voice.
Yeah, he's super. Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to talk about the shop a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
Ray's Music Exchange was not the name of the store, but it was a real store. Shelley's Loan and Jewellery. It contained a mural for the movie, which was painted on the side. You can see during the movie. Mm-hmm. It was painted in 1979. Some cunts decided to burn it down in 2020.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I hope they got trapped inside the building.
And got COVID.
Right after. Yeah, it had to be demolished. It was that badly burnt, and it was in business for about 90 years.
Wow.
So it was quite a bit of history burnt down. Breaks my heart about that young going bad.
Another place we can't go to on the tour. So the keyboard that he's playing, there is a Rhodes piano. The bit where he goes, I'll throw in the black keys for free. I love that. That was a great line. 73 keys instead of the standard 88 on one of these. manufactured from 1946 and still being made today. They buy all this kit, and the complaint is that he's ripping them off, but it is what it is. Elwood and Jake get in this phone box to call. It's a manager, isn't it? I can't remember the guy's name. I'll come to it a little bit later on. To call this manager, and Elwood has the line, "Who are you going to call, Jake?" Which I haven't been on IMDb for this, because I don't go on IMDb trivia for these anymore. But I'm absolutely certain that somewhere under the links it says, Elwood says, "Who are you going to call, Jake?" Which is a link to the fact that Dan Aykroyd also starred in Ghostbusters.
It will be
the tagline was, "Who are you going to call?" Because fuck off IMDb. Work harder. Try fucking harder.
Reference to a movie 4 years away.
Reference to a movie that has not yet been made. Carrie pulls up and flamethrowers this phone box, which, by the way, is next to this massive propane tank. Propane accessories. The tank explodes and the box flies into the air like Bill and Ted. They crash back down to kind of Earth. It's like, hey, Jake, there's like $7 worth of change here. Great. The Nazis get Elwood's address off the computer and pull up at Wrigley Field. They better hope the cops get to them before we do. Yeah, all right, you're really scary, Nazis.
And he's a Catholic.
Yes, yeah. Oh, damn Catholics. They pull up at Bob's Country Bunker. They've been driving around for 3 hours looking for somewhere. And there's the advert for the Good Old Boys Tonight. And inside it looks like something out of Red Dead Redemption.
Roadhouse, wasn't it? With the mesh or the stage.
It is a personal dream someday to play behind chicken wire.
I think there's quite a few places in Belfast where you can do that, right? Just as standard.
Not play music.
He asked, "What kind of music do you have?" She says, "Both kinds, country and western."
Love that line.
It's still a great line. I chortled both times I watched this. It's full, and it's like the cast of Wrong Turner in this place. There's barely a tooth amongst them. and when they start, they're doing "Gimme Some Lovin'." The bottles start, which explains the chicken wire.
That ain't no Hank Williams song.
Yes, that's the line. Yeah. So what do they do instead?
They play the theme tune for
Rawhide.
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 Yeah,
That's what it
theme
is.
tune to Rawhide. Rawhide. 217 episodes across 8 series between 1959 and 1965. It's a TV program about cattle drovers in the West, starred a very young Clint Eastwood, and guest starred the likes of, deep breath, Dean Martin, Lon Chaney Jr., Burgess Meredith, Chuck Bronson, Leonard Nimoy. My rustling here is done. But you didn't rustle anything. Oh, didn't I? Possibly. I don't know. But look, I kind of remember it being on Channel 4, maybe in the 80s or 90s, possibly during the day. I mean, it was certainly no Bounty Law, that's for sure.
Or Bonanza.
Or Bonanza. Weren't there 3 Indians last year? Jesus.
Big Horse. Big Horse. That's everybody was called Big Horse.
The theme from Rawhide, the original, is sung by Frankie Lane. It's covered, Punk, you're going to love this, covered by, amongst others, US crap punk ska band Sublime, which is on YouTube, and it is as expectedly awful as you imagine. Members of the Western Writers of America voted it number 58 in the greatest Western songs of all time. Number 1 is Ghost Riders in the Sky by Stan Jones. We all know that one, right?
Tails, yeah.
Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-yo.
It's in the fucking sequel.
Oh, is it?
It fucking is.
Fucking hell. I'm not going to watch it. It's not going to happen.
You know you wanna.
Man, we could do a watch along, couldn't we? We could do a live recording watch along. Fuck. No, don't.
Reading up a bit on the Country Bunker portion, apparently at one stage they had recorded and filmed Johnny Horton's song "Sink the Bismarck."
Okay.
For the portion, which I would love to fucking hear, but apparently it's been lost to the vaults.
Oh, that's a shame.
So.
It's probably on that helicopter.
They're listening to it, having a good laugh, and
not paying attention.
Oopsie!
Oh, goodbye, children. Oh, Jesus.
Somebody's been Clancy Browned. Don't lose your head.
So they're well into this. They're like the guys are well into it. They then move on to the end, like the next song they do, "Stand By Your Man" by Tammy Wynette. Fantastic this, because it's all the couples are there and they're having a great time. And there was this one guy just crying into his beer, and I loved him. I was just like, oh, I just want to put my arm around him and just say, it's all right, mate, but probably get shot.
I use that as a GIF so often online.
Oh, really? I haven't even thought.
Sad reaction GIF.
I need to find that. I'm gonna get right on that. That's great.
That used to be my drinking song.
Oh, really? Right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
We got arrested singing that one night.
Where were you?
Oh, hometown.
Street.
So, McCullion, that was on an episode of my show. He was in the cell across the way from me. I don't know if he ever told anybody he actually got arrested. So
everybody knows now.
We ended up, after being arrested and processed, we were put into cells on the other end of hallways, and we could see each other through the peeky holes. So we sang "Stand By Your Man" to each other and had other criminals telling us to shut the fuck up, which we did not. So, come on in here and shut me up.
I dare you. I dare you.
A lot of faith in those doors.
You just roll up the mat as like a big baseball bat and just baton them out.
It is a great song. It's a great song. I love it. Number one in the UK, Ireland, no less. The Netherlands, Belgium, and only 19th in the United States, which absolutely blew me away.
Losers.
Well, we know. The Hebrew version is entitled Rak Letzido. Literal translation, only by his side. Performed by Ricky Gal in 1982, and I couldn't find it no matter how much I looked. John, you know me. I would have looked quite hard to find a Hebrew version of Stand By Your Man.
You love a good brew.
But my old boy used to sing to the tune, "Sometimes It's Hard to Be a Plumber," all the time. Famously a bus conductor, my dad. It's not, obviously, but you know, that's the joke. Yeah, he used to sing that a lot. As the night finishes up, they're doing Rawhide again. I can only think they maybe only knew
I was
maybe
thinking that.
3 or 4 countries.
Yeah.
Like the Lars come on stage and they do There She Goes. Partway through, they do it twice, and then they do it as the... Yeah.
And there they go.
Yeah, indeed they do. The fee's $200, and they drank $300 worth of beer, which I love. I love Bob. They basically drink and dash. The band leave Elwood and Jake just as these good old boys turn up in this Winnebago. Jake pretends to be from the Union.
So the good old boys pulling up now, this has always confused me.
Yeah,
because
me too.
The bar inside, that's chucking out time.
Yeah.
So there's nothing happening there.
Yeah.
So what were they rolling up for?
Yeah. Oh, so because he says, "Oh, sorry, we're running kind of late." Like you're either running 4 hours late or you're running 4 minutes late. And he says, "Oh, you know, you can't play because you're not registered. Who's going to stop us playing? You, because you're going to look pretty funny trying to eat corn on the cob with no fucking teeth." It's a great line, fantastically delivered. He said, "Oh, I've got I've an American Express traveller's check, and what I'm going to do is my brother's in there writing it out now, and I'm going to get in and I'm going to sign it, but I need to get in the car to do it because I like to do it on the glove box. So I'm just going to get in the car and I'm going to sign that they drive off." That's pretty good. American Express traveller's checks are still a thing, which is astonishing to me because it's like 2022. There's one place in Carlisle you can redeem an American Express traveller's check. One. Which I think probably says more about Carlisle than it does about traveller's checks.
Does it say where is it, the Brewdog?
It's my house. I'll give you 50p in the dollar. And then I'm going to go to Brewdog or the Millbourne with that money. So they fly off. The good old boys follow in this camper van of Bob's with Bob shooting. They speed past the cops. the same two cops. Like, how lucky / unlucky are these two particular policemen behind this huge poster for "See You Next Tuesday"? Anybody?
See you next Wednesday, isn't it?
Sorry, see you next Wednesday. I just wanted to call you a cunt, and that's fine, and that's okay. See you next Wednesday. Yeah, what's the story about see you next Wednesday?
Call me a cunt anytime you wish.
Champion.
Golden ticket right there. It's Calling Card Landis, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in the film that he goes to see in American Werewolf in London. Is See You Next Wednesday.
I was going to say, was it Bob driving the good old boy's vehicle?
No,
he's shooting.
He's shooting. And did you see it? But that's not. I don't think that's the good old boy's vehicle. I think that's Bob's camper because it's slightly different. Yeah, it's much smaller than the big Winnebago. But did you see? There's like four good old boys up in the top in the bed bit, looking out the window, which I always thought was
especially
really
after
cute.
it crashes and that bit shoots off and gets crushed.
Yes.
Oh, poor good old boys.
But they did all right. They were straight out.
They were grand. Cowboys, hard as sin.
Racists, they're a lot more they're a lot more hardy than they make out on Facebook.
And fire retardant.
The cops basically smash into them and make a real mess of it. Right, they go and see Maury, right? Who is they're in this sauna. You boys ever had a sauna? Not together. I'm not making any assumptions.
Not yet.
Yeah, you like a sauna, John?
No, it was in the swimming bath, so I thought, do you know what? Free sauna. Let's jump in here and see what it's all about. Before I went and ate my freezing cold house in Pollock.
Punk, you big fan of the sauna?
Only really did it once, again, back when I was in America. Native American tribe. They did it was like a bunker of steam, and you stayed in there till you passed out, and then they picked you up and threw you into the river that was close by.
What? Jesus.
Yeah, spiritual awakening, that.
Did you have to pour cold water on your stones?
Yes, I did. I was 18 when I was in America, and nobody would serve me.
Right.
Oh, brutal, man.
Yeah, I would do anything you offered.
Cheeseburger. I'd suck your dick for a cheeseburger.
Maury says, you guys in your hats and your fakakta suits. Got the Yiddish dictionary out, John?
Oh, so you did. That's right.
Fakakta, lousy, messed up, and or ridiculous, apparently. He books them into this palace ballroom. He says, oh, yeah, we could do it in a few months' time. They said, no, book us in tomorrow, which, again, is another stupid point of this film. Utterly mental bit of this film. We cut to Curtis at the orphanage. He's telling the kids they need to help keep themselves in a home, and this musical montage of the kids and the brothers basically just try to drum up interest it's a lot of fun. It's really
good, isn't it?
It's Fats Domino's "I'm Walking," which I'm also I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit of a fan of. Fats Domino was one of those things that I kind of got into because my granddad had a few Fats Domino tapes when I was a little boy, so that really works for me. 1957 hit for him. It's good music for little kids, I think, because it's short, like 2.5 minutes long each song. It's jaunty and it's kind of good. Now, the Fats Domino story I love, right, is that when he was living in Norlands, as the locals call it, and Katrina hit, he went missing. People thought he died when his home was flooded, only for him to come back 3 weeks later looking for his cats. I mean, what a guy! Everyone was certain he was dead, and I thought, I'm sure I'm not making this story up. So I looked it up online, Fats Domino missing, and there's a Rolling Stone article saying we're hoping that Fats turns up alive and well at some point. 3 weeks later, there's another news story with him being interviewed, going, "I've come back for my cats." What a guy! What an absolute guy. It's also the piece of music that they make Gizmo dance to in Gremlins 2.
Ah, sure is.
Yeah, with Christopher Lee and those two twins out of Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, pokey eye.
Yeah.
Ray Charles putting the sign upside down again. That's the sort of
Visual gags.
Is that what you're here for, is it?
Humor. Right up my alley.
The kids are cute as well, like the little tiny ginger kid that gives the poster to Aretha Franklin, and she just can't help because he's a cute kid. Or she really loves music. I'm not entirely sure. They're driving around with this fucking massive speaker on the car. This huge sound system.
One of those raid siren things.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I was expecting them to tell us that there's 12 hours of the purge about to happen. Get inside your houses.
It's like fun with the Titanic.
He's like, you on the bike, you in the water. It's the Blues Brothers old-time band show. The good old boys see this graffiti advertising the show that says tonight, which is really handy.
Yeah.
Pissing, and it just says tonight, and it's a drawing of them. The car runs out of gas, of course, so they push it to this gas station. The tanker's late. The guy's like, oh no, we've no gas. He says, oh yeah, I know. He says, no, we've no gas. The tanker's late. Twiggy turns up. I mean,
random.
what?
So random.
British model Twiggy, yeah, turns up. She thinks Elwood's basically the attendant. He takes her money as well, doesn't he? He takes
really?
$90 off of her.
Doesn't he care?
He doesn't and he's told her it's fueled up before the tanker's even there. What a fucking arsehole. You know? Then the tanker does appear, and he says, "Oh well, look, you know, if you fancy, if your date doesn't turn up, why don't you meet me at the motel on I whatever?" And she's looking as if to say, "What a piece of shit!" Like the way she looks at him, it's like, "You fucking scumbag."
Did you see the name on the tanker as well?
No, I didn't.
Argon. So we were talking about that on the last show with the welders mix.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, all relative, big man. All relative.
In. The Full Monty was our last episode. The show's a sellout, but there's no Blues Brothers. Curtis has to go on doing Minnie the Moocher, which we've talked about already.
I'm going to say the Palace Hotel Ballroom on Lake was a Manny.
That's right. Well, allegedly. Yeah.
Has a 4.9 rating on Google Reviews.
Uh-huh.
And most of them are about the fucking movie.
I've written here, people think they are funny, review it with quotes from the film. Fucking losers. Why don't they just make a podcast about it?
Yeah, productive.
Yeah.
And then the interior of the ballroom itself is the Hollywood Palladium at El Centro Avenue. Mm-hmm. Seen also in Galaxy Quest.
Oh, right. Oh, fantastic.
$1 Million Baby and Day of the Locust.
Okay. Well, look, you really went two sides of the spectrum there. You went, oh, the brilliantly cheery Galaxy Quest, $1 Million Baby.
Well, you know, given my earlier story, you know, I had somebody getting captured and tortured in the basement of the place. I'll not go into that one, but...
This White Tails outfit he's in, still giving it the moves at like 70 or whatever he was. He's fantastic.
Slick.
Yeah. And obviously it's played at a certain tempo and style. And when they're sneaking in, they're doing like the sneaking to the tune is great. I love that.
There are so many little moments in this that just makes it feel like a Looney Tunes cartoon in live action.
Absolutely. I did have to question what that thing on the end of the trombone is that makes them go wah 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 wah.
The cup.
Yeah, it's a trombone mute. £46 at Dorks Music Online. There you go.
Imagine getting that for a present and nothing else.
Not the trombone.
Oh.
You got to save up for the trombone.
I was going to skip back a bit when the boys are in the tunnel.
Yes.
And Jake complains that Night Train is a mean wine, because that sent me down a little rabbit hole where I looked up Night Train Express, usually abbreviated to Night Train, typically contains 17.5 ABV.
Ooh.
So it was basically an American Buckfast.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it was... discontinued in 2016, so I couldn't get a price to compare it with. But Buckfast needs the competition. It's a monopoly. £8.95.
What? For a full bottle?
Shocking.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's robbery.
It is. Right enough. Yeah.
I mind when we were wee, when you got your £10 pocket money, you could get 2 bottles and a half. Kept me up for days, man.
Well, he's running about with his champagne.
Champagne. Love it.
I'll never forget the time that me and some younger mates, Gav, who probably will be listening to this, did Bucky bombs during some wrestling show that I wasn't aware of. And I honestly thought my heart was going to stop at the age of 33. I was certain they were in their early 20s. I was 33. I was certain that was the day I died. Still here, miraculously. But if I was to do one of those,
how much caffeine can you process at one time?
Yeah, and I couldn't process that at all. Elwood sprays this marine proxy on the accelerator, and this is the line. This is glue, strong stuff. I just love the delivery. The delivery is great. It's probably really bad, but it doesn't feel really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it feels like a really good delivery. But again, that glue you mentioned there, Punk, that it's like a Looney Tunes, and it is just like a Looney Tunes. Yeah. The state troopers are here with Candy, and there are hundreds of them. Like, there are thousands of them, completely unnecessary.
They're everywhere, aren't they? They're literally swarming the building.
Yeah. And he says, right, are we going to go and get them? And he says, wait, I haven't even heard these boys sing. They go and grab a seat. And this is the who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done this. Orange whip is a cocktail made with rum, vodka, cream, and orange juice, apparently. And also, allegedly, had a resurgence after the release of the film.
Right.
Quick reminder that these cops are drinking on the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just another reminder that ACAB just put it back out there.
Later on, when they're filling in paperwork, and it's like, well, why didn't you arrest them on site? You sat through 2 songs. Oh, well. We were busy with orange whips.
Yeah, exactly.
Sat through the 2 songs and the encore.
We've got rum and orange juice in the house. I could maybe go and get some cream. Can you get vodka anymore? Is that okay? Is it all right to drink Glen's vodka? I think that's all right, isn't it? Because that's made in air.
Aye. You can't drink Smirnoff, but you can drink Russian Standard, apparently.
Right, okay. That's fine. The brothers come in, they somersault onto the stage, and there's just this stunned silence.
I love that.
Brilliant. Awkward. They, of course, do Everybody Needs Somebody, which is kind of the song that everybody remembers. It's far from the best song of the whole thing. But I did used to do this at karaoke with a friend of mine who's a big Blues Brothers fan, who we watched the first time I saw this. I was 11 years old. Could you imagine how much of a kick I got out of this at 11 years old?
Oh, God, yeah.
For the first time. Because it's a child's film.
Oh, yeah.
Swearing and misbehaving.
Children need to know.
I know.
Yes, they do.
I know.
Pricks.
And everybody needs to know as well that police don't just chase Smokey and the Bandit. There was other people being chased in cars.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers started it all.
They then do Sweet Home Chicago. They're pulled aside by this record exec, which is completely stolen in Wayne's World, this bit, by the way. You know, the bit with the guy, I'm such and such from such and such, I'm Mr. Big from such records. It's completely ripped off in that.
Who also happened to be head bouncer here back in the...
And knows every exit.
Go out through the vent.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. The cops and the good old boys realise that they're away and they're heading down this ancient tunnel. It's like fucking Metro, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Expecting some sort of fucking mutants to come out. Fallout. Carrie shoots this rifle, empties a clip, and doesn't touch a single. It's like me in first-person shooters.
It's like the 18-minute. It's not a lot of bullets and nobody dies.
I've played about 10 hours worth of Cyberpunk, this week, and I can't hit shit. And I don't know if it's me or the game's broken. I'm not sure. I don't know.
It's the game.
It's probably 50-50. He's covered in mud, absolutely drenched, and he stands up. And he'd left her at the altar. She's like, "You contemptible pig," which I'm going to start using a lot on Twitter. So listeners and fellow podcasts, watch your fucking back.
Get ready.
She's about to kill him for the common good because he left her at the altar. Something about my father got in like the one last deal with such and such. He called in his last favour with such and such of wherever, and got the best Romanian caterers. I'm like, I want a Romanian caterers. I wonder what that is. Romanian food is. He begs her, doesn't he? He's pleading. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. Someone stole my tux. There was locusts. An earthquake.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. He pulls off his glasses and those eyes.
Yeah.
Man's had eyes, didn't he? Jesus.
He really did, aye.
They snog and he drops her in the mud. Let's go. This is the line.
Quite strange because wasn't she engaged to Elwood at the time?
Was she really? I didn't know this.
Please do.
We need to Google that. That's
have to double check that one. Yeah, I was under the impression that Carrie Fisher and Aykroyd got engaged during the Blues Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah. Excuse the silence. I will have to check that one.
No, I'm doing it now. Sorry, I'm doing it now. And her relationship with Aykroyd ended when she reconciled with singer Paul Simon.
Okay.
They were going to, but we need to dig in to see when it was.
That's all right. We'll just go with that.
We believe you.
And so now it's the line that everybody knows. 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half-pack cigarettes. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Yeah. Okay. This highway pursuit, though, is brilliant.
Oh.
Good old boys can't stop, so they career off into this dock.
I just have to say, at this time, I have chase time fuck notes for this entire segment.
That's fair. That's fair. There's a bit where they're in there, and the head of the good old boys is basically like, "Don't you say a fucking word." He's such an angry man.
He really is.
Brilliant.
As the sun rises, the chase is still happening. So, did 106 miles take all night?
Maybe it was daylight savings.
Lousy farmers. The Nazis hear the police radio and join in. There's this huge pile-up, including Candy. This is car... What number is this? 55. This is car 55. We're in a truck. It's brilliant. It's a great line.
Such
brilliant delivery.
He's so happy when he's seen it as well, isn't he? Hand me that radio.
I've always wanted to do this.
They're in Chicago City. There's all sorts. There's the boat cops, the horse police, badge patrol. They're all there. They're doing 120 mile an hour under this L train platform. And all I could think was, CJ, you got to catch the damn train.
But the choreography that must have took, because it's whipping by cyclists and stuff like that, you're thinking, man, these are really, really close here. It reminded me of Paradise City.
Nice. It reminded me a little bit of the opening to all the police squad films.
Oh, I'm in it.
Yeah, on the DVD commentary, Landis goes to length saying they had to shoot it twice, another time with pedestrians, because test audiences thought it was sped up when they seen the test footage.
All right, wow.
Right.
So,
right.
Excellent.
And he was very proud of this speeding montage.
Okay. So, just known for being dangerous when filming stuff, known for not giving a shit about it, like Quentin Tarantino in Kill Bill 2. Yeah, all right. What a dick.
Penis.
Yes. The Nazis chase them up this road that's not yet complete out of speed.
Yeah.
And they slam the brakes on, and the car flips like it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. The Nazis, however, drop for absolute miles. And the guy's like, "I always loved you." And I thought what it missed is a Wile E. Coyote style gulp sign.
Yeah, this was another Looney Tunes moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Mother.
And just confirmed that all Nazis are secretly gay.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Proof.
Yeah. They're gay and have got tiny penises.
One testicle.
Yes. The other, of course, is in the Kelvin Hall.
There you go. Yeah.
Ride of the Valkyries he's playing, of course, while they're chasing them and dropping.
My favourite blues song.
It's famously by Richard Wagner, not the bloke who pushed Natalie Wood off of a boat, and also features in Birth of a Nation, the Bugs Bunny short, What's Opera Doc, and of course best known in Apocalypse Now as being the only other film with lots of helicopters where a lot of people die. They pull up at the plaza, and the second they get out, the car drops to bits, and it's perfectly timed, and it looks brilliant.
It looks good. It does look good.
I felt for Elwood in that scene. The conveyance of emotions in that man's face.
You love that car.
They hole up in the foyer, blocking the doors with all the furniture they can. So, you'd think from this... Yeah, hoying the bins up on the thing. You'd think from this bit of the scene, the foyer's completely empty. But as it flips later on, you see all these people, and it's a massive... no one's doing anything about it. Brilliant.
I wouldn't mind. The place probably has about 10 fucking entrances.
Yeah,
There's got one.
Exactly. And only one lift. They block the doors. He's like, excuse me, cook assessor's office. Yeah, down there on the right. Take the lift. Run. The SWAT are coming down the. Hut.
Yeah,
It's brilliant. Absolutely love that.
When did that start? The hut. Because it's been done in South Park as well.
It's in. They do it in Toy Story as well. I don't know when that started, but SWAT stands for Special Weapons and Tactics. The term was first used in 1964 by the Philadelphia Police Department in response to the high number of bank robberies in the city at the time. So I haven't got anything fun there. Just facts. Just the facts, man.
Oh, just
Facts are fun.
The cops. So there's everybody. There's the cops. There's the fire. There's the army. There's the military police. They all turn up. There's a tank at one point. It's like you've got 5 stars in GTA. The girl from Ipanema's The Music in the Lift, which I really was into, because I love a bit of music, and I absolutely love bossa nova or anything like that kind of central or southern
music.
American music. Bossa nova style sound was known as the new samba and came about in the 50s and 60s. Girl from Ipanema, brilliant. If you want to hear the best/worst version, try listening to Frank Sinatra singing it. Fucking hell. A really old Frank Sinatra singing Girl from Ipanema is just awful. Did you see 2 blokes, black suits, whatever? He's like, I sent them down there. They're screaming as they go. Elwood fries the circuits on this lift. What's this fucking thing he's got? This screwdriver with the screwdriver where it just breaks the screws. I want one of those. I need one of those.
I think it twists as it compresses.
Oh, right.
So it's like a hand-activated screwdriver.
Fuck, I've got to get one of those. That'd be quite handy in my
Never be looking for a charger then, son.
No, exactly.
I know.
Right. He fries the circuits in the lift because there's only one lift.
Again, if you'd seen the scene where he works at a can factory that makes magic cans, you'd understand bits like this a bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
All cans are magic, especially if they've got booze in them. They get to the assessor's office and there's a note, back in 5 minutes. I was like, what? Did you spot this chap?
Before we get to that, there was another bit that was cut out of the movie.
All right, excellent.
So while it's closed for 5 minutes, they're standing and waiting. As they're standing and waiting, everybody's running up the towers, going up the flights of stairs, and they're there trying to pass time by clicking fingers and doing things that you would do to pass time.
While waiting.
Yeah. Surprised it was cut out. It's quite a funny scene.
It's quite fun and important to know how close these guys are.
Yeah, it builds up the ante a little bit towards the end.
Yeah, okay. This gentleman that was the cook assessor, do we know who that was?
Your man that made Star Wars.
It's not quite. Your man that made the what's ET short for? Because he got little legs. Steven Spielberg. Spielberg. How many acting roles do you think he has on IMDb? And I'm talking features, not shorts and made-for-TV stuff.
Based on his performance here, not many.
It isn't many, no. John, do you want to guess? Oh, you're close. A little bit more.
8.
6.5.
9! 9!
No.
9 acting roles.
Was he in Schindler's List as well?
He was wearing red.
Schindler's Fist. Mostly uncredited, including Jaws, Gremlins, Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Men in Black, Vanilla Sky, and Austin Powers. Yeah, you know him in Austin Powers. Hey, Austin, do you like that bit of the version? I think it's groovy, baby. Shut up. And he's also very briefly in, although I can't remember this at all, in Paul. You know that Peg Frost alien?
Oh, the alien thing?
Yeah.
Missed that as well.
I've just made myself feel a bit sick by doing an Austin Powers impression. Oh, what next? Borat? Fucking hell.
Can you do it?
I was waiting on it.
So was that.
Who are you married to?
Nope. The guys turn up and arrest him, but not before he's got a receipt for his $5,000. And next up is Jailhouse Rock in prison, and the band are amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
But my question is, why are the rest of them in there?
Yeah.
Like, it makes zero sense.
I know.
It's why are the Blues Brothers in so much trouble? A
Uh,
bit of a, I suppose, the high speeds
Evading arrest.
chase.
Yeah.
But why were so many police there to arrest them?
and blown up a petrol station, and they just seemed to give 2 fucks about the guy that was inside.
Yeah. All the music and the talent singing and performing at the end through Jailhouse Rock, which I thought was really, really nice. And I loved the bit, there was a little bit of the crew all on these bleachers singing, which was really good. But shortly after that, John Landis crashed a helicopter into them and they all died. So, it is what it is. Jailhouse Rock, 1957 Elvis song. God, we've done so much Elvis this year alone, John.
Uh-huh.
Budget of 1 million, and it made 4 million return. Not too shabby. Should you wish to take instruments into prison, you can in the UK. Inmates who have earned certain privileges can have one musical instrument. The choice currently includes guitar, harmonica, recorder, or flute. Recorder?
Wow.
Fucking school?
God, Frere Jacques all over again.
Absolutely. Right, lads, what else have you got?
I was going to mention the Ask for Babs during the credits at the end.
All right, yes.
Animal House also had the same.
I've forgotten about this, yeah.
I went through a big kick of Belushi stuff. There's not a lot of it, so it didn't take long to work through it. I had stuff that didn't fit anywhere. Stolen off IMDb because I didn't realise that was a thing until I'd finished. Arseholes. Belushi was known as the Black Hole because he went through hundreds of pairs of sunglasses during production.
Oh.
You've got the one about him disappearing during filming.
I haven't. We discussed it, but I didn't note it down because I thought you might have it.
Apparently, one night filming, because there was a lot of late night filming happened on this movie, credited to the amount of cocaine that everybody was on. So, yeah, they lost Belushi one night. It was Aykroyd that found him. There was one house that had their lights still on, so he thought he'd stop and ask at this house if they'd seen him. And when they answered the door, they said, "Are you looking for Belushi?" Because he came in and looked for a glass of milk and a sandwich and fell asleep on their sofa.
Nice.
Aykroyd decided to affectionately dub him America's Guest after this, rather than the Moocher. Yeah, according to Dan Aykroyd, many theatres in the American South refused to show the film because they felt there were too many African Americans in it.
Wow.
Which,
Crazy.
for something that was created in our lifetime, is a horrible thing to think of.
The talent in that was unbelievable as well.
Never get that again.
No.
Universal themselves kept trying to get the filmmakers to replace the blues and soul stars with more contemporary, successful acts like Rolls Royce.
Oh, Jesus.
But Landis, in one of his few acts, not being a prick, stuck to his guns.
Okay.
Good.
But again, yes, a lot of theatre chains refused to book the movie into theatres in white neighbourhoods.
Wow. Astonishing.
Yeah. So, I should something funnier to end on.
It's all right. I've got a couple. John,
Good.
what you got?
What we got? All right. Twiggy's real name is Leslie Lawson. She's a name now. Wrigley Field is a Major League Baseball stadium located in North Chicago, Illinois. It's home of the Chicago Cubs in a capacity of 41,000. Opened the 23rd of April 1914. Orange Crush is a brand of carbonated soda drink owned and marketed by Keurig Dr. Pepper, originally created as an orange soda. It was introduced 111 years ago. Vienna Polish sausage is a real thing. It's a skinless sausage made from hot and spicy beef infused with a special blend of cayenne peppers and zesty seasoning. And prophylactic is a straight from sausage onto prophylactic is a medicine or course of action used to prevent disease. Done. Skinned sausage.
There were 104 cars destroyed in the making of. This puts it at number 7 in the most cars destroyed on screen, behind Transformers 3 at 532. But I assume most of those were cartoon cars and not real. Richard J. Daley Plaza, named after Mayor Richard J. Daley, who was the mayor of Chicago from 1955 to 1976 when he died. The James R. Thompson Center is next door and featured in The Fugitive, I Don't Care, and was Wayne Enterprises in Batman Begins.
Oh.
That big sculpture that's there is a Picasso, and it's known as the Chicago Picasso, although it doesn't actually have a name. It's 50 foot tall and weighs 147 tons. Picasso's full name, anybody? Pablo Diego. Almost. Pablo Diego, Jose Francisco de Paula, Juan Nepomuncio Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santissima Trinidad Ruiz e Picasso, or Paul to his mates.
Bloody hell.
All right, I found another one while we were chatting, just
Please.
to be awkward. It was during the scene where they had met Smurf and the Magic Tones.
Yep.
And they were talking about the money that was owed. He pulled that job to pay for the band's room service tab from the Kiwanis gig in Cold City.
Yep.
Cold City is a small village. I didn't know America had villages, so, that's a fact. Considered a fringe town of Chicago, but it was where John Candy filmed parts of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, wow. Right, okay.
So I thought with him being in both, little connection.
Super. Good work. I've totted them up while we've been doing that. Punk, as you're the guest, do you want to guess first?
500.
Well, that would be a new record, were it so. John, do you want to have a bit more reasonable guess?
I'm going to be a bit more modest and say 123.
Oof, lower. Lower.
What?
Bollocks.
105.
Higher, Punk.
115.
Oh, one above. Had you not got that last one, you'd have got that right. 116.
Wow.
Good work, gentlemen.
We done it, brothers.
We done it indeed. Punk, you have been a long-time want for this podcast. We have been desperate to get you on. You have not disappointed us.
Fuck no, I love you, swear.
You've not disappointed the listeners either. Tell us if we want some more desperate needs to listen to you Monday morning, first thing when it hits Spotify. Where can we do so?
Oh, if you want to make your Monday blue, oh yes, no better man. Possibly the best way to find me is to look up WTFDYW.co.uk, because that will bring you to everywhere I'm hosted. So wherever you prefer to listen, that's where I am. Or, if they let this pass the censors, ucons.co.uk. Same website, funnier URL.
Fantastic.
See you next Wednesday.
and a lot of fun it is too. We, of course, can be found on the Twitters at 100 Things Pod. We can be found On all those other internet places, social medias at 100 Things Film. We are so grateful for all of the listens, all of the likes, all of the telling your pals and all that kind of stuff. So keep doing that, please. John, what do you want to say to these lovely people? In fact, where are they going to find you?
Well, they can find me on Divided by a Common Language.
It's easy for you to say.
I know, it really is. With our friends the Wilsons and the Bellend Boys, which I've started calling them now.
Lucky them. Lucky them.
And I'd just like to say that I don't know if Punk's rubbing off on me, but I'd just like to say to all the people out there, thank you, you're a good cunts, and thanks for listening.
Super. Lads, a lot of fun. Had a great time. Thank you both. Much. And listeners, you'll get us next week for some more shite. But for now, we have been 116 things we've learned from the Blues Brothers. See ya.
See you guys.
Good luck.